Here. I am not here. What the flip? Well, that's unfortunate. Hold on. Oh, no, wait a minute. What's up, chat? How are you guys doing? Give me 1 second, and hopefully I will be back. What a day. Unplug, plug it back in, Linda. Why is Rod singing? What is happening? Let's see, properties. That's not it. Go back. Okay, that's kind of me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Rod, today sucks.
What happened?
I don't know, man. It's just some days you have technical difficulties. Some days your computer decides that it's just gonna be slow, and then some days you forget to check to even see that your Cam's feed is in on the stream feed, and like right now is one of those days. I missed the days where I didn't use webcam. Those were good days. Really, really good days. So let's just delete the cam. I'll be gone again. Give me a second, chat. And then we will bring it back. But what's up, Raj? Haven't talked to you since last week. Kill some time.
You know, it's another day, another grind. Back on the DFS, trying to make 100K. Hasn't worked out so far, but we're gonna try to get it done today. What else in the world? In the world of sports, you got Matt Ryan to the Colts. I actually like that pickup for them. I think he's a good, solid veteran presence with Jonathan Taylor at running back and that elite defense. They could be a sneaky team. I think they can be very sneaky with that defense and Jonathan Taylor with Matt Ryan at the helm.
No.
On that, we got the Toronto Blue Jays, AL East favorites now with the moves we'll be making, just adding piece after piece. Red Sox adding Story. The Yankees doing absolutely nothing this offseason.
Okay. Didn't know that.
No
Didn't know that Josh Donaldson, former MVP, was nothing.
Yeah. Let's yo, the Twins fleeced you. They got rid of Donaldson's contract and then got Carrera.
Cool.
Y'all got fleeced by the Twins. I'm just saying, they had Freddie Freeman in their hopes, Carrera in their hopes, and they end up with a Josh Donaldson, former Toronto Blue Jay MVP. But again, that was how many years ago? 6-7 years ago. Dude's past his prime. Basketball world, LeBron the GOAT, number 2 all-time scoring. Pretty good week of sports. Can't complain.
I'm fed up with technical difficulties. I'm just done with it. Alright, that should okay. Now I'm behind Kobe again. Boom. I feel like Echo. What the heck? I'm telling you live. Raj, are you echoing?
I'm not echoing.
You are. Well, you are. Anyway, nothing stresses me out more than live technical difficulties. It is literally like the worst ever. But it looks like we're good now. Anyway, chat. I hope you guys are having a good day. On top of the technical difficulties, Raj, I'm actually under severe weather warning, tornado watches. It's about to go down where I'm at tonight. So hopefully we stick around. If the storms do start to develop during the stream and lose power, lose internet, probably not going to come back on. Just something to keep an eye on, chat. But how are we doing, chat? Happy Monday. Mock Wall, Mia Moore in chat, Trickaroo, Steve Leibowitz, Skimmer. Tornado ain't worth the DFS stream today. I mean, so obviously there's not a tornado outside the wall. It's just a warning. We're not going to hunker down. I can feel the humidity in the air, though. It's like so hot. What up, Lorenza, Arizona Drama, Keith Seal, Obi-Wan, lots of K's in that Donaldson box score coming up, maybe. But this delusional Blue Jays fan over here, you just don't know. The Yankees got something for him. Yeah, so I'm happy with the Yankees. I think Trevor Story is the most overrated player on the market, to be honest. Correa, I don't want that bum on my team. I think the Yankees are not done. I think the Yankees will get Frankie Montas or Sean Manaea on the squad, and all I care about is pitching. All right. Last year we had Andrew Velasquez and Brett Gardner and guys like that taking. Oh, Kyle Higgins. We had those guys taking swings in the playoffs. We don't have that this year. People act like Anthony Rizzo at first base is such a bad thing. It's not. DJ LeMahieu was injured all last year. That guy was in the conversations for MVP 2 years ago. Like, the Yankees are not a bad team. They're one of the best teams in the league. So all these people blowing smoke, let them blow their smoke. Letting Correa go to the Twins, that's not a fleece job. That's, hey, here's a guy that will not be on a contender this year. Cool. Out of here, boy. And then the Blue Jays losing their Cy Young and Marcus Semien. Come on, don't act like you guys did anything but lateral this offseason. So miss me with that with that nonsense. Anyway, but we're here to talk basketball. I don't feel like schooling Raj too much on the baseball end just yet. And since we're here to talk basketball, I'm going to open up the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet, which is brought to you by RunDFS.com. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. I was talking for a bit first. I don't think you can. Like to re-plug it in.
Yeah, you were just, oh my God, I'm on the screen again. Yeah, you were just taking that L, right?
Sure, I'm just saying, you're hype about Sean Manaea. Come on.
Bro, you have Hunyin Ryu. Please.
As a number 4 guy or 5, I'll take that all day, every day.
He's like number 3. What do you mean? Kevin Trash Can.
I mean, Galston.
Miss me with that.
I'm going to say, James projected to win 100-plus games. 100-plus games, winner of the AL East. That's all I'm saying.
You guys are overrated. You had a literal high school team ballpark for
so did the other teams that played against us.
Yeah,
so
it's the highest scoring park in the league. What do you mean?
Oh, sure, but I mean, we still look at our offense. We're still literally a top 3-5 offense.
Overrated.
I mean, next to the Dodgers, we're probably the best offense.
So tonight, there's a bunch of basketball, and it starts and stops within an hour and a half of air. Isn't that incredible? It's like a turbo slate. 7 p.m. for the first game, 8:30 p.m. for the last game. Mavericks and T-Wolves, Lakers and the Cavs. I'm coming home. I'm coming. LeBron James back in the land as the Lakers battle the Cavaliers. Projected starting 5 for the Lakers: Russell Westbrook, Malik Monk, Austin Reeves, Stanley Johnson, and LeBron James taking on Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, Larry Markkinen, Lamar Stevens, Evan Mobley. We got 227 total, 5.5 point spread in favor of the home team, Cleveland Cavaliers. And then, hey, LeBron James back in Cleveland. That's cool. We got a couple Q tags there. Taylor Horton Tucker, Wayne Ellington, Wayne Gabriel on top of officially LBJ being questionable, but he's always questionable. Anthony Davis out for the Lakers. On the Cavs side, Jared Allen, former Laker great Rajon Rondo, and D. Wade, one of LeBron's friends, listed as out for the Cavs. So what we can do is push and isolate a little bit more usage, a little bit stronger baseline floor for minute projections on a couple Cavs. Darius Garland, Evan Mobley being the most intriguing for tier 1s and tier 2s, and then you could flirt with some Kevin Love exposure behind that. Kevin Love's minutes have been extremely volatile, anywhere from 15 to 30 depending on the game script, depending on the matchup. So I'm really hyper focused on sub 9K Darius Garland on Fanduel, and Evan Mobley under 8K on both Fanduel and DraftKings. Certainly has 40 plus fantasy point potential, especially against this Lakers defense that is hemorrhaging points in the paint just in general, and then of course allowing opposing bigs to have really strong days here. So you can give me some Garland, you can give me some Mobley. And then, hey, Josh shouted you out on the PrizePicks stream, which was right before this stream, and mentioned that he's going to buy into the LeBron James in Cleveland narrative. What say you today?
I mean, look, the GOAT's going to do GOAT things back in Cleveland, and he's going to put on a bit of a show. The Cleveland defense does seem like it's taking a step back from how they started. So a defense I'm not too worried about. So give me LeBron here as one of the studs here. 11-6, you're definitely paying up for him. But with Embiid getting ruled out, takes away another stud on the slate. So I think, you can definitely find room for him. I think the secondary piece on the Lakers will be interesting. Going to a guy like Russell Westbrook at 9K on DK. Past couple games, 50 bombs. You'll take a 50 bomb all day, every day. Easier matchups with Toronto or Washington than Cleveland. But again, not a defense I'm too worried about. He's shooting well the past couple games, 8 for 18, 10 for 15. How long he can keep that up, we're going to have to wait and see. But I don't mind taking a shot at him for a 50 bomb at that price point, so I don't mind that. The Cleveland side, you mentioned Garland. He's 9-3. Him versus Westbrook is the interesting 1v1. Garland, he just does it all. He's going to give you 20-plus points, 10-plus assists, a couple steals, and you could be good for 50 fantasy points. So at 9-3 against the Lakers, I like that. And I think Evan Mobley and Lauri Markkanen, I think two guys you're going to have to keep in the pool here. Markkanen, we saw the upside 2 games ago, dropping 60 on Denver. And next game against Detroit, got to be 16. So definitely a tournament play. He has a floor of about 15 to 20, and has a ceiling of 50 to 60. So at 6K, that's a perfect way to describe a tournament play. I think he's in play against the Lakers. We're giving up a ton of points, ton of rebounds. The Lauri Markkanen will definitely be in play, and Mobley. You're definitely paying up for Mobley at 7,900, but it's easy to be a double spot for him, and he can definitely pick up a couple blocks and steals here.
LeBron James, in his last 10 games at Cleveland, has given you 56 or more DraftKings points every time out, and has exceeded 60 fantasy points in 8 of his last 10. So pretty strong floor, and his usage right now for this Lakers team is sky high. Huge expectations here. I don't mind leaning on LeBron James here. Just in general, I tend to not want to buy in too much into narratives, but sometimes you just know cats play a little bit higher based on some of the surroundings, who's in the crowd. So I'm fine with LeBron, but I would be fine with LeBron at Cleveland versus Cleveland on Mars. It's just LeBron James. So I'm in on that. Shout out to Cheyenne says, any must-play 76ers? How about just Jason Tate on Fanduel? 76ers are certainly going to be pretty top-heavy when it comes to James Harden. I'm curious to game theory that one with Raj and see, do we think that game stays close? Game 3 in 4 nights. It's a back-to-back. Heat can kind of hyper-focus their defensive efforts on James Harden, make a little bit of a statement with Embiid being down. And then I didn't have any early expectations to get to any aggressive amounts of Jay Shante. He might make the player pool, but that front court rotation for the Houston Rockets has certainly been a little bit volatile lately. Let's get caught up on chat here. LeBron dropping 100 fantasy points today, says Obi-Wan. He might. I will say, Ross just mentioned it, but the Cavs defensive rating has definitely gone down quite a bit since the start of the year. You remember earlier this year they had Ricky Rubio, Jared Allen has been out. It definitely takes away some of their rim protection, stuff like that. So it's been a more attackable spot. The pace is still pretty low, but we can sink our teeth into high usage spots. What up, Jermaine? What up, Steve Leibowitz? Says Winston's back to the Saints. I guess the plan B. Yeah, I don't know what Raj was thinking about Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan's trash. So I don't think that does anything for the...
Matt Ryan's definitely not trash. You're crazy. The Falcons were trash. He could still get you, I think, 25 touchdowns to 30 touchdowns a season.
Matt Ryan is literally Eli Manning right now. Literally Eli Manning.
Matt Ryan is 100% a better quarterback than Eli Manning. 100% not even close.
They're the same. MVP. What is the difference?
What
does Matt Ryan do that Eli didn't do?
He's a much more prolific.
Don't worry, I'll wait. Prolific. What
passer, do you mean? 100%.
No, he's literally not. I don't even know where this is coming from.
What are you talking about?
That's the dumbest take. Matt Ryan has been so
Matt Ryan will give
average.
you 4,500 yards a season for like a 10-year stretch. Give you about 30 touchdowns a year.
Julio and Devontae Freeman carry him, sure, but this is like
Devontae
this
Freeman,
is literally washed up, done with. It's no, I don't think it's that big of an upgrade from Carson Wentz, and I don't even think Carson. Like, I don't know, you're weird. You're
crazy.
weird.
No, you're crazy.
Am I? I don't got time to derail the stream right now, but
Understand.
You're when you actually look at some
in a tier above Eli Manning. Eli Manning is in the tier below Matt Ryan.
The Hall of Fame 2-time Super. Yeah, that tier. Okay.
Yeah, carried by defense. I could have won a Super Bowl with that team. But continue basketball.
W. German says Terry Rozier has dominated versus the Pelicans this season. Perfect guy to use for a low on play compared to the other guards. Yeah, I don't mind that. German.
I like Derek.
Shark Killer says, "What's up, Gun? DraftKings took a $5 single entry NASCAR win for me with some Christopher Bell technicality and pushed me down to 7. Dang, man, that sucks. Yeah, NASCAR is what a sweat NASCAR is. Tobias plays well versus the Heat. Yeah, we're gonna chop down some of the usage rates with Embiid out, but at the end of the day, it's still gonna be kind of an uphill battle against a full strength Heat defense." I'm going on the Ryan take. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what he's thinking on Matt Ryan, but Matty Ice ain't that guy, pal. He ain't that guy. The Portland Trailblazers up against the Detroit Pistons. Project starting 5 for the Blazers. Brandon Williams, C.J. Ellaby, Justice Winslow, Trendon Watford, and Drew Eubanks taking on Kojo, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Marvin Bag Alert, Isaiah Stewart. We got 2-2-2 and another one. 2 is our total. 8.5 points spread in favor of the home team. Detroit Pistons. Eric Bledsoe out. Josh Hart out. Luzada, Nurkic, Simons, of course, out. And on the Pistons side, Ham Diallo, Jeremy Grant, Frank Jackson, all listed as out. And a couple Q tags. Very, very worth watching. That's Kojo, Hayes, and Mr. Kelly Olynyk. So let me get the 4-1 on those guys. Killian Hayes is probable. Corey Joseph is questionable. He's questionable for rest, okay? And then Kelly Olynyk is questionable due to a sore left ankle. So we already know Jeremy Grant's going to be out. If Kelly Olynyk can't go, we definitely might have deeper implied minutes for Marvin Bagley, though. We've certainly seen this situation a few times, and some of these front court minutes become more volatile than we would like them to be. All things considered, it is, man, this is a basketball game. I mean, this is a basketball game. All things considered here, the Blazers should really be expected to be the worst defense on this entire slate. And with no Jeremy Grant, with no Ham Diallo, we should probably expect big minutes and big uses out of Cade Cunningham and Sadiq Bey. So I would have to consider them. We put Cunningham here on the cover today, so I do want to, I at least, I don't know, we did this on-off court search for Cunningham without Jeremy Grant, and there was not that much sample. Jeremy Grant's played a lot of games alongside Cade Cunningham this season, so I guess the fairest thing to do with Cade Cunningham is just to look at his general body of work, maybe since the All-Star break, or maybe February 1st, and just kind of lean on those numbers, and that would be his usage rate, his assist rate. I'm not really going to tamper with these other ins and outs for the Pistons here, and we just kind of trust that Cade Cunningham is going to lead the team in usage no matter what, and then hope that the matchup against the Portland Trail Blazers is a fruitful endeavor. But I will say, without Jeremy Grant and potentially without Ham Diallo, I would be interested in maybe some Sadiq Bey point props as well for those of you that are out there prop hunting. Since February 1, Cade Cunningham has a 30% usage rate, a 26% assist rate, and over a fantasy point per minute, almost 1.1 on both DK and Fanduel. So definitely a good starting point. And then, like we said, in these numbers, Jeremy Grant also represents a 23-24% usage rate. That would be second on the team. So you take that away from the equation. It's a really good spot for Cade Cunningham. Bing bong.
Gundacker is weird.
Gundacker is weird, for sure. Not as weird
True.
as Raj. Raj is weirder, though.
Hey,
Raj literally eats booty. Like, that's how weird he is.
Okay, well, I mean that's a conversation for another day. Whatever y'all do in your lives with your special someone. But yeah, I mean, let's be real. Gun's definitely a weird one. I'm the cool one in any kind of
No,
circumstance.
absolutely not.
Any group setting, I am the cool one.
You're not. You're literally not. I will outclout you right now. I will Twitter poll.
I walk into a room and it's they know I'm in the building. And, we put smiles on people's faces. Smiles on people's faces.
Who is the cooler dude? Here we go. Nice little Twitter poll. Twitter.com/Gundacker. Me versus Raj. Who's the cooler dude? Roger Gundacker.
Let's keep it real. One has a life. One is playing Fortnite at 10 p.m. at night every night. All right. One has a life. The other guy's playing Fortnite every day. All right. Come on now. Let's keep this 100.
Raj, is playing Cade Cunningham or Sadiq Bey something a cool person would do tonight?
Playing Cunningham, definitely something a cool person would definitely do tonight. No Jeremy Grant here. You got Cade Cunningham against the Portland Trailblazers. Portland's been terrible. Other than it's Josh Hart and a bunch of G Leaguers.
It's not. No. Josh Hart's out.
Well, he's out. I see that.
It's Justice Winslow and a bunch of G Leaguers.
Oh my God! So see, this is so crazy. So with Detroit, you don't ever think they're going to blow someone out, but there's a team to blow out. Portland without Josh Hart is a team to blow out. So it's an interesting spot where it's going to be easy spot for him to get his points, get some peripherals. But is he only going to play 28 minutes in a blowout? At that price, you definitely need full run from him. So it'll be an interesting question. I mean, I want to see how the spread maybe moves even as the day goes on. Man, now I'm just worried about the blowout. Him at 8-4, I might just pay the extra, 700-800 for a guy like Darius Garland, who I think will be in a closer game. So the cool thing might be to fade him in the spot here at 8,400 just because of blowout risk. You have Marvin Bagley, 5,900. You mentioned Kelly O. I think even if Kelly O plays, he'll be in play. I wonder if Bagley gets some blowout run. Just keep him out there. Again, no Grant. Give him some more minutes. So that'll be an interesting call on him. And on the Portland side, man, oh man, if you really wanted to, you could play 4 Portland guys today. You got Brandon Williams.
That sounds atrocious.
I know. I'm just saying, you got Brandon Williams. You got Justice Winslow at 5,500. Who get you 30, 35 piece. And you got Trent Wofford, Drew Eubanks. Those guys probably don't want to play them together, but one of those guys, they're playing a ton of minutes. I could see going on. If you want to take a shot on like CJ Ellaby, who'll probably take most of Josh Hart's minutes, 4,200. He can sneak into a 30 bomb. These aren't fun clicks, but I think you're going to end up with quite a few Portland guys in lineups today.
Yeah, Chris Dunn is really, really cheap on DraftKings, 3,800. He has seen 28, 26, 24 minutes those last 3 games. And in 2 of these games, the Blazers scored under points. And in those games, we've seen 26 to 30. So that 3,800 actually could serve a purpose here, especially removing Josh Hart from the mix. And Josh Hart kind of been a backbone of 20-plus real points in spots. And the peripherals are there. So Chris Dunn probably actually going to pick up some steam in terms of ownership because my early projection really likes him for nearly 30 fantasy points. And on DK, we'll take that. Yes, sir.
Stay Olynyk rolled out?
Did he just get rolled out?
I see someone in the chat. No, Stay Olynyk out.
Oh, I mean, it's possible that came out since we've been live.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm scrolling up to kind of catch up on it. Let's see. But it's definitely possible that I missed Kelly Olynyk being rolled out.
I still see him as questionable, but
yeah, I don't see definitive one way or the other. But yeah, if Olynyk did get rolled out, it would probably at least bolster the expectation in terms of minutes for Bagley and Isaiah Stewart. But
did this game stay close?
I didn't roll out of bed today to say that the Pistons are going to blow out a team, but and the Pistons without Jeremy Grant, without Ham Diallo, I mean that's not insignificant for them.
Yeah, I mean, this got Cade, Sadiq Bey. Well, we're better than everyone on Portland, I'd say, both alone.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to overthink the blowout part, but I will play Sadiq Bey, Cade Cunningham, Marvin Bagley, and Isaiah Stewart. I'll probably draw a wedge. I might just try and grab 2 of those 4. Maybe I'll set a player group on Fantasy Cruncher. And then on the Blazer side, I'm with you, but there's no way I'm getting to 4 Blazers in a lineup. I don't know. I definitely think Chris Dunn, I'm going to get to aggressive amounts on DraftKings just because he's been deep minutes and he's pretty active when he's out there. Watford and Drew Eubanks certainly very valuable. I'm actually getting solid projections really for the Blazers. So probably don't get
What's
to 4.
What's the overlap between Dunn and Williams? Just out of curiosity, like minutes. Do you think with Josh Hart, maybe they see more run together?
So I guess we're gonna look at this Pacers game. Pacers game was a 30-point blowout. Chris Dunn, he didn't really. It wasn't even like Chris Dunn soaked up the garbage time. He played 23 minutes, all that meaningful. And then in terms of overlap between him and Brandon Williams, there really was none. All of his minutes are completely opposite of Brandon Williams. Of course, that was also with Josh Hart, so maybe Chris Dunn could play a role there. Then go and look at that Brooklyn game, Chris Dunn and Brandon Williams again. They did overlap quite a bit in the second quarter in that game against the Nets here, so I guess it's not impossible for them to play together. So I think Chris Dunn is primed to be one of the highest owned DraftKings plays. By the way, Raj, I'm steamrolling you in the cooler poll.
Okay, so, well, clearly there's a bunch of weirdos voting that you're cooler.
You
got a bunch of your weirdo friends out here. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my God, he's so cool. Let's go play some video games, guys. Goddamn weirdos.
How is playing video games not cool? What do you mean? That's the coolest thing.
We're not 15 years old. We're not 15 years old. That's why.
Okay, buddy. Josh says if you work more than Gunn and his bankroll's still bigger than yours, that's not a good thing.
True. Guess so. I'm still on the grind. 9 to 5 living.
Yeah. If he thinks Ryan's a bad pickup, there's no debate. He's weird.
Yeah, Gunn's weird. He thinks Ryan's a bad pickup. Yep.
What?
We got one safe soul in the chat.
Why is there so much? Like, how is Matt Ryan valued like this for you people? Like, what am I missing? Matt Ryan's been incredibly average, for the last 4 years. I mean, come on. I'm not saying prime Matt Ryan was a garbage can. He obviously had MVP caliber season, but this 2022 Matt Ryan, what are you guys expecting that Carson Wentz wasn't doing, right? It might be a little step up from Wentz, but it's still...
Matt Ryan giving you 30 touchdowns this year.
Matt Ryan, is he even a top 15 quarterback? If you have to think about it, then why are we hyping up this pickup? He's at the most average...
I think with that defense of Jonathan Taylor, upgrade for Carson Wentz, I think Matt Ryan still has top 10 quarterback upside.
Matt Ryan is like the king of interceptions in the end zone. Like, what are we talking about?
Guess what? He's not going to have to throw into the end zone. You can give it to Jonathan Taylor.
Okay, then anyone could have done. Tyrod Taylor could do that.
You got to get there, though. You got to get there, though. You got to put him in spots to get there. Matt Ryan's going to do that.
Okay. Pelicans at the Hornets. Project starting five for the Pelicans: Devontae Graham, C.J. McCollum, Herbert Jones, Jackson Hayes, Jonas Valanciunas taking on LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges, P.J. Washington, and Mason Plumlee. 234 is our total. 6-point spread in favor of the home team, Charlotte Hornets. So Devontae Graham, friend of the channel, questionable with a hip. Brandon Ingram's out. The Pelicans played last night. C.J. McCollum, shout out to McCollum for the second half assist run. That was huge. They're running back a game they played a couple games back, but it was a little different. It's the same but different. Mira. Also, Miles Bridges' birthday, if birthdays mean anything to you. So all things considered, it's two of the teams with more porous defensive efficiency. So scoring should be pretty prevalent here. Hornets 6-point favorites. Obviously, Devontae Graham's presence is fun for narrative, but he could be a guy that might be live for 10 to 20 real points based on how you score against the Hornets. Your thoughts on C.J. McCollum, no matter what. 8,400 on FanDuel seems a little bit light. I think 40 to 50 fantasy points is something that I could definitely live with and get behind at that price point. We've seen his usage rate be just astronomical since being traded to this team, and then without Brandon Ingram, even on the court with Devontae Graham. We've seen him sustain a mid-30s assist rate, similar usage rate. So CJ McCollum against the Charlotte Hornets has every possible potential to be, a top scorer on the slate. Maybe he's not 1, 2, or 3, but he definitely could be top 5, and even in top 6 or 7 on that 8 close to 8K price tag on Fanduel might make him live to squeak into the optimal lineup or a top lineup for aesthetic purposes. We'll use that on-off court tool via NBA Wowie. Put McCollum on, take off Brandon Ingram since February 1, about when the trade happened. McCollum has a 32% usage rate, averaging 1.3 fantasy points per minute. Behind McCollum is Jonas Valanciunas with a 25% usage rate, also 1.3 fantasy points per minute. And I do like the thought of Jonas Valanciunas in this up-pace matchup. What I don't like about Jonas Valanciunas is the propensity for a Jackson Hayes or a Guillermo Hernan-Gomez to kind of, pop and vulture. But yesterday we actually had a ultra positive scenario, which I don't know that would sustain long term, but Jackson Hayes popped off, Guillermo Hernan-Gomez popped off, and so did Jonas Valanciunas. So I'm willing to just bank on usage being usage, and CJ McCollum and J-Val feel like a spot where I'm going to anchor lineups with these two again. This was probably my most common correlation in my lineups yesterday. McCollum in a guard spot, J-Val in that center spot, especially on FanDuel. At 7,400, J-Val is bringing back a 44 fantasy point projection for me. So I love a lot about this Pelicans lineup right now, and you can easily talk me into Hayes and whatnot. This seems like a game we should be pretty heavy on. The Graham news, and I think if Graham were to be ruled out, it certainly makes a couple more guys a little bit more fun to tinker with, maybe Alvarado and DK. But what do you know with this game? Are you loading up here, and what the heck do you do with the Hornets?
Yeah, so on the Pelicans side first, CJ McCollum, on the surface, it's in a great spot. It's it's the Hornets. I'm a little worried. 9,200. He needs 50 plus in a 9-game slate. To take down a tournament today. He gets you no peripherals. Like he just gets you like 0 steals and blocks. Probably going to need 30 real life points here. With Devontae Graham back in Charlotte, I could see that narrative game, him maybe chucking a few extra shots and just having the ball in his hands a little more. So that is a little worrisome for me for McCollum. I still think he's okay play, but I might not be as locked into him. If Devontae Graham was out, he'd be a much better play. J-Val, gotta love him, 8,300. Said it's against Charlotte all day, every day, twice on Sundays. He let us down last time against Charlotte in 25 minutes, 22 fantasy points. That's when I believe they did get blowout. So, don't expect that again. Coming off of a 50 bomb against Atlanta. I like J-Val here at 8,300. Should be able to dominate here. And Devontae Graham, revenge spot, team that traded him back there. He's 6'3". Last game against Charlotte, which CJ McCollum didn't play, he dropped 40 fantasy points. So at 6'3", I still think he can get you, 35 plus and even 40 again. Again, just in the spot where he's returning to Charlotte. And the Charlotte side, you mentioned Bridges, birthday narrative's interesting. Terry Rozier at 8'2", and LaMelo Ball at 8'8". I think both these guys have 50-point upside here. Terry Rozier definitely a little bit more scoring dependent. But LaMelo Ball just, a triple-double throughout the time. I think the spot against New Orleans, I'm going LaMelo Ball here, 8,800. I can expect a triple-double here, and I think he has like 60-point upside in the spot. 20, 10, and 10 would not shock me with a couple steals and blocks. So give me LaMelo Ball. Terry Rozier is definitely interesting. He could definitely go for 30 real-life points. And Bridges with the birthday narrative. And I think past couple games, 23, 18, 27, 26 points. So he's in a bit of a scoring run here. And again, in this spot against the Pelicans, which should be a high-scoring game, I could see him getting 25. So I wouldn't play all those three together. Even two together, I think, is tough at their price tags. But I think those three Charlotte guys are definitely in play and my favorite plays from the Charlotte team.
Chat, make sure you guys are hitting that thumbs up dunk on it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you're subscribed so you can hear yearly school sessions where I'm just bodying Raj in every debate ever. I literally am undefeated against Raj.
You're crazy.
Like, I've never lost to Raj.
Gun is sipping on that vodka.
Right now I got a smoothie. I don't know what flavor smoothie. It's pretty bomb.
I will make one after this.
By the way, a little update on the cool sweepstakes. I'm still exponentially cooler than you.
Because if a bunch of weirdos voting on who's cool doesn't count. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, what's the definition of cool? Where the majority?
You just got it. Some people just got it. Boy, what do we got it? That's all it is. If you don't know what the definition of cool is, you're not cool. You know what I mean?
Carlito. Utah Jazz at the Brooklyn Nets. Jazz projected starting five: Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Royce O'Neal, Juancho Hernan-Gomez, Rudy Gobert taking on Goran Dragic, Seth Curry, Bruce Brown, Kevin Durant, and Andre the Giant Drummond. 230 total, 1.5 point spread in favor of the visiting Utah Jazz. Jazz night two of a back-to-back. Beat up on the Knicks last night. They sat Mike Conley last night from the play tonight. Bojan Bogdanovic out again. So we got a pretty high implied total to target here. And Donovan Mitchell, much like last night, 8,500, feeling like a price point I can get behind. So since it's working, I'm going to go pull up the Utah on-off court tool. I'm going to do a little bit of research here. I want to paint a picture on Donovan Mitchell's scoring usage in the absence of Bojan Bogdanovic. And I talked about it yesterday. It was one of my favorite lines was Donovan Mitchell's real points, but also was on his over 4.5 3-pointers, and it came through. He had 7 against the Knicks yesterday, and the Knicks, of course, a slower-paced team. The Nets not quite as slow. So let's go put Donovan Mitchell on the court. Let's put Mike Conley on the court, and let's take off Bojan Bogdanovic. And since we're there, let's go ahead and take off Joe Ingles as well. And then I'm going to move the sample size date to the beginning of the season. And of course, just generally speaking, something that we've noted a few times on the stream is that the team philosophy, right, for the Utah Jazz is to chuck threes. They lead the league in points via the 3-ball per game and 3-point attempts per game. And with Bojan out, he's a guy that could represent double-digit shot attempts from 3. So they do compensate for that here. And Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson, and lately Royce O'Neal has been finding himself a little bit more involved in taking some shots here. But Mitchell's the most intriguing option to me in this particular split with Conley on, Bojan Ingles off for the season. We got a 37% usage rate on Donovan Mitchell, a 33% assist rate, and just incredible metrics to maybe land on Donovan Mitchell here, as the team was implied for 116 points against the Brooklyn Nets, and a little bit of a statement game going against Kevin Durant. That's going to fill a spot that he could play up against. So I do like Donovan Mitchell 8,500 on FanDuel. On the net side, Kyrie is out. It's one of those home games, so Kevin Durant gets that opportunity to be the number one guy in usage. And Goran Dragic has been carrying a questionable tag all day. So if he can't go, you might get one of those Seth Curry, Patty Mills lineups, and then it really moves a whole lot of potential minutes and usage around. Dragic is dealing with left knee soreness, so if he can't go, it would probably really bolster Seth Curry to probably 35 minutes, get Patty Mills heavily involved, and maybe Cam Thomas gets introduced in the conversation. But no matter what, we expect a north of 30% usage rate for Kevin Durant. So I'll say this: Kevin Durant's pushing 11K on both DraftKings and FanDuel. And it's real easy to get caught up in Luka against a fast-paced T-Wolves team, or LeBron James back in Cleveland here. But can Kevin Durant outpower the rest of the slate with everything considered, and be that guy? Even Harden without Embiid is probably going to soak up a little bit more usage. Is there any way that 11K Kevin Durant scores 10 more fantasy points than the next guy? What are you doing with KD in this spot for a 230 implied total?
Kevin Durant is my favorite 10K above player for sure. I think my favorite star on the slate here. This past couple games, so the game in was it Orlando, Dallas? At Dallas first. They were double teaming all the time. He only scored 23 real life points. They were forcing him to pass the ball. Portland kind of tried that, but then Seth Curry got really hot. So he let it go in the fourth quarter a little bit, and he got a lot of his real life points in the fourth quarter. And I believe, I'm not sure if that went to overtime or not. I don't think so, but he got a lot of his points in the fourth quarter when he had 38 real life points. So with Utah, I wonder how they're going to guard Durant. With no Kyrie, are just going to double him and make him pass the ball, or they're just going to 1v1 and let him do his thing, where he can get 40 real life points any given day. I think Utah's just going to kind of 1v1 him. They got some good defenders there. They take pride in their defense. So I could see him just 1v1ing him there. So 10-7, definitely my favorite stud of the day. Could drop 40, 50 real life points. We've seen it happen. Wouldn't be shocked to do it again. I love Seth Curry, 5,600. No Kyrie Irving. He's the clear number 2 here. Past couple games, 10 for 14, 9 for 14. He's hot. I think he's got to ride the wave, back-to-back 40 fantasy point games here. You got no Goran Dragic, so I think that's a bit of a upside for him in his play.
He's not ruled out yet, right?
Oh, he's not ruled out yet. Okay, he's still questionable. So if he gets ruled out, I think it'll be a bump for him. So I don't mind that. So Seth Curry and Kevin Durant, my 2 favorite plays. And the Utah side, you mentioned Donovan Mitchell. I might like Donovan Mitchell more than CJ McCollum. I think it's very close. The spot against Brooklyn, again, high total for this game. Donovan Mitchell past couple games, 9 for 15 from 3, 7 for 12 from 3, 5 for 17 from 3. Just absolutely chucking shots. Mike Conley is back, but Bojan's still out. So I still like Donovan Mitchell on the spot.
Yeah, I also kind of don't hate the thought of a DraftKings share or 2 of Mike Conley. We've seen him be able to exceed 30 fantasy points as of late as well. So, yeah, definitely a lot to like here on the Jazz. You do worry about that back-to-back travel. That's quite a bit of travel. But
Mitchell versus McCollum.
I think that's good.
I'm leaning Mitchell.
I mean, I probably want overlap like I had last night, just play them both. But I certainly have a sweet tooth for Luka Doncic tonight. So McCollum, 39, 28, 39. I mean, McCollum took 20 shots last night too, 26 of them. So
he shot terrible. Yeah, he just shot the ball really bad. Still kind of got there.
I think if games stay close, McCollum will push 40 minutes. So I don't know. It's kind of the same play to me because Mitchell also has to worry about Jordan Clarkson maybe vulturing some hot stretches here. But I'm gonna have a whole lot of both and a whole lot of overlap between them. So I don't want to get too caught up on splitting between them, right? Let's get caught up on chat here. Josh says, "Is Russ back? He's been hooping back like he never left." I don't think he's. I don't know. I hope he is, but I think there was a overtime game that went his way, and then a soft matchup with some old friends in the crowd in Washington. What up, Coach? Dad says, "Congrats to Raj for his first dub because Gun lost today."
Talk about it.
Thaddeus Brown, are you new here? Like, I feel like I haven't read your name out before. Raj, is this your mom? Your mom on an alt account, bro? I've never seen it. Somebody.
We got new people in the chat, baby. Some smart ones. You know, people vote for Gun. That Gun's cooler are the Kyrie Irvings of the world. You know what I mean? It's like if Kyrie Irving thinks you're cool, are you really cool? Nah. I got the LeBron's voting for me.
Why does Kyrie catch the strays, man? Kyrie's a cool dude.
I'm just saying. Kyrie's a weirdo. This guy's a weirdo. But he's 100% a weirdo.
Stands for what he believes in and drops 50 on you. Right? How about that? Do you have a beat on if Kuzma plays? I don't. I didn't expect him to be out that game against the Lakers. I would hope that I hope he's out. If he's out, I like the Wizards stack a lot. So I kind of hope he's out. It would narrow down my player pool, but we'll see. Arizona says Drummond had some good games against Utah. Keith says Bruce could be a solid play if his jumper's falling. Yeah, that's an interesting take. I'd been on Bruce Brown for fantasy points and PRA on PrizePicks in the last couple weeks. He's had a uncomfortable amount of 30-plus fantasy point games. So maybe, we could get back to the well on that. But the Dragic news definitely important because Dragic could represent about 30 minutes right now that needs to be replaced. Miami Heat at the Philadelphia 76ers. Next game on the docket, we got a projected starting 5 for the Miami Heat of Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy G Buckets, PJ Tucker, Bam Adebayo, up against Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, and DeAndre Jordan. We got 215.5 total. Actually, let me double check this because that was from before I got the Embiid. I think the line moved to 4.5 or 5 since then. I'll double check on Vegas Insider. Actually, let's go use OddsJam. A little sponsor plug here. OddsJam, and see if the lines moved on them. Sixers at the Heat. Sixers implied 4. I don't see the team total, but I think it was 5.5. Actually, let me go spread, point spread. Raj, I might die.
You might die.
Tornado, man, tornado.
You survive. Just hunker down. Find a basement.
Yeah, it looks about 5.5 in some spot. Find a basement? What?
Yeah.
We don't have those.
Underground.
Have basements.
Underground park.
Sixers are -4.5 in some spots here. All right. -4.5 for no Embiid against a full strength Heat. On game 3 and 4 nights, am I tripping or does that seem generous? Okay. All right. Well, without Joel Embiid, we know that James Harden has approximately a 97% usage rate. And against the Miami Heat, who do play a funnel defense, they restrict points in the paint and kind of force teams to get hot from 3. We might be able to generate some interest in not only James Harden, but also maybe some Tyrese Maxey. And then, of course, Tobias Harris is going to profile well here. But let's get the official numbers of James Harden on the court, and let's take off Joel Embiid. So we might expect for the 76ers here. So, Chad, I'll ask you guys too, and Raj, I'll ask you. Is 4.5 a little generous for this Thunder or for this Sixers team that did not look great last night, and they're without the MVP potential MVP? Harden has a 38.6% usage rate without Embiid on this team so far, near 1.6 fantasy point per minute production on PrizePicks and Fanduel, almost 1.66 on DK with a 54.8% assist rate. So it's going to look good for Harden. What do we do here? Because I am in my mind wrestling with the thoughts of potential lopsidedness and potential blowout. But hey, Vegas knows more than Twitter.com/Gundecker. What are you doing with this game?
I mean, if this game stay close, so this is going to be the Maxey and Harden show. Harden would have to, have a kind of an OG Houston Rockets Harden type of game. 35 to 40 real-life points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. And Maxey's going to have to carry the load, too, and get you probably 30 real-life points here. So I think they're interesting. Miami's defense, obviously, with Jimmy Butler, Bam, fully healthy. Not a team you want to target. So I could see, Philly, definitely getting run off the floor here a bit, or just being kind of a low-scoring game. But I just don't see myself getting to a lot of James Harden at 10K. I definitely prefer Durant in his spot in that matchup. But I don't think you can fade him just in case this game does end up being kind of a 115, 110 game, and Harden ends up playing 40 minutes.
Yeah, I'll say Harden. It's not like Harden's 12K, right? There were spots where we were not even thinking about grabbing 12 and 13K. If Harden's 9,900, you get that 999. So at 10K, you probably just eat that usage and hope for 50 plus. And yeah, I don't know. I'm wrestling with it. I guess what do we do with the rest of the Sixers, though? Because in this split, I'm not playing DeAndre Jordan. Not even with your bankroll. Which,
it's called mine's called deposit. So,
yeah, that's how you play DeAndre Jordan. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just kind of am expecting the Heat to kind of handle their business here. But I guess Harden's too cheap for that type of usage, and then he might get 20 free throw attempts if he's gonna have the ball in his hand that much more. So I don't know. I'll definitely have to play it. What do you do with the Heat here? Jimmy Butler's gonna play. I guess it makes the Heat a little bit more volatile because Butler could spike, Adebayo could spike, Hero could spike. Oladipo is out, so you might be able to feel a little bit safer. But Hero has experienced a bump in price. He played a couple games recently without Jimmy Butler, without Oladipo, so I don't feel like we're going to get a great projection on anyone in particular. I'm getting, a strong shot at 40 fantasy points for Jimmy Butler and Adebayo, but there's immediate competition at that price range. We talked about CJ McCollum and Donovan Mitchell and guys like that. Do you get to any of these Heat guys with any type of confidence and elevated ownership in your own player pool?
I probably don't. You got Tyler Hero 7,400. I'm off of that. Kyle Lowry 6,300 with Jimmy Butler back and Bam healthy. I'm off of that. Bam and Adebayo, at 81. It feels like 72 maybe, even at 81. I think it's fine. He can get you 40, but not a comfortable click at 8K. And even 40 you're not thrilled with. I'd probably get to know Miami Heat guys. I think they're more PrizePicks plays.
Yeah. What up, Emerson's Baby Gap? What up, Jamie Moore? Jamie says... Is Gunn a flat earther? Gonna have to I'm not a flat earther.
No, it's only Kyrie.
I don't think Kyrie's. I don't know. Anyway, don't get me. Willie says Miami needs to bench Lowry. The veteran has lost the complete. Kyle Lowry is the Matt Ryan of the NBA. No, maybe Matt Ryan's a little bit better. Ryan has a good completion rate. I get that, but I don't know. Gunn is a geocentric dude, not a flat earther. I don't even know what that means. I'm scared. I don't know what that is implying. Shout out to Josh. Josh says Heat are 4.5 point favorites. The other way around. 76ers open up as favorites and then switch to Heat after Butler and Embiid news. Yeah. What up, OB? Harden's interesting on FanDuel at 10.3K. It's kind of a soft price for that type of usage. But man, did they look flat last night. Arizona says, I'm playing Harden. He had some explosive games versus them in the past, decent games in Nets, but Kyrie and Katie cutting into usage. I agree with that. Fade the Heat. Easiest play today, you think so? I don't think that's crazy. I don't think it's crazy, but Adebayo getting 40 plus at 8,100 on DK and Jimmy Butler, triple double threat, right? It's still possible. But if I was going 20 or less lineups, then at that price range, I can make instant calls to put that money towards a McCollum, towards a Donovan Mitchell, guys like that. And then maybe some of this next game. Speaking of this next game, which is pretty weird, like Raj, who, by the way, Raj, what's where we're at? Oh, my God, Raj, you're catching up. Oh, my God. Hold up. Wait, delete tweet. I demand a recount of Russian hackers.
I should retweet it, but I'm Jalen Carter on Twitter. There you go. People are confused.
You think your followers might be surprised to find out that your real name is not Jalen Carter?
Maybe. I feel like most probably know, but some probably don't.
Raptors at the Bulls. Project starting 5 for the Raptors. Fred VanVleet, Armani Brooks, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, Kim Birch is the project starting lineup. That could definitely change. Last night, they had Birch and Achua in the starting lineup. Up against Ayu Dosunmu, Zach LaVine, Javante Green, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic. We got 221.5 total 4-point spread in favor of the Chicago Bulls. Raptors listing Gary Trent out. He's joining Malachi Flint and OG Anunoby on the out list here. This becomes a weird game to predict here for the Raptors. Got a cheap price point on Fred VanVleet. We got Scotty Barnes over 8K on both sites. But he's been playing really dumb minutes. I got him for 41 minutes right now. Siakam also big guy minutes-wise, almost 9K. I got 3 Raptors right now coming in with 40-plus fantasy point projections. So they're going to be in the player pool. But, man, I literally, I look at this game and I was like, I don't know what to expect. But I will say what we might expect is another opportunity for Precious Achiuwa to do well after last night. But last night was weird. Let me pull up this rotation for the Raptors, kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. Last night against the 76ers, the Raptors started Birch and Achiuwa. And then in the second half, they came out with Chris Boucher over Achiuwa, but Achiuwa still finished strong. He still closed out, and you figure after Achiuwa had that strong game, at least stat-wise and for us fantasy-wise, 4,600 on DK going against a Bulls front court that has definitely been susceptible, playing 27 or more minutes in 4 straight games. Achua just might find himself right there on that value playlist for us tonight. So, I don't know. This is your squad, Raj. What the heck do we do with the Raptors against the Bulls? And do you like any Bulls to run it back? Kind of a little bit of a narrative game here for DeRozan, although it would mean a little bit more if it was on the other side of the border.
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes to the Raptors, the position we've been targeting the Bulls all year is power forwards. So Pascal Siakam going to play most of the floor here against DeRozan. So I love Pascal Siakam, 8,900. No Gary Trent, no OG Anunoby still out. So I like him at 8,900. Scotty Barnes too. Want to have some of him. Last game 6 for 21. He still past 4 games 40, 40, 42, 42 minutes. Dude just playing the entire game. 8,100, so I think he's in a good spot here. I'll definitely have some of him. VanVleet, 7,900, cheap price tag for him. I think this is a 50-point fantasy spot for him. I can see myself getting to 2-3 Raptors in a lineup here, and you mentioned Achua, so I definitely like that. I think 4 Raptors are in play, probably limit to two to a lineup, maybe 3. And the Chicago side, I mean, everyone's in except Lonzo Ball. And with him still out, I think a guy like Alex Caruso is interesting. Seeing about 25 minutes a game. If he, gets a bump of the 30, I still think he has some upside coming off a couple down games. I do like him at 4,100. I think he can be an interesting value guy. And you mentioned DeRozan, 8,700, getting a bit of a discount. He was like 9,400 for a while. So 8,400, you're getting about $1,000 discount. But the guy I really like is Vucevic, 7,800. Centers against the Raptors. He dropped 50 on him. He's averaging 50 fantasy points in 3 games against the Raptors. I really like Vucevic here. And I think he won't be that owned either, coming off of back-to-back 28, 29 fantasy point games, a couple down games. I really like Vooch in the spot. Gun disappear on me?
No, I had it on mute because I was sipping this scissor.
Yeah. So I think Vooch is a great, in a great spot. 7,800 with 50-point upside. He's averaging 50 in 3 games against us.
Is there a constant in the game? Let's see. Nikola Vucevic, DKP by game log versus Raptors last 3 games this season.
Yeah, and Levine and DeRozan played those games too.
All 3? Okay, that's what I was looking for. So apparently it's due to this one spike game. The other 2 games are 47-35. Let's see what happened. In this spike game, he played 39 minutes. That doesn't seem like it's going to be a thing. Player stats in that one. DeRozan, Levine played that game. That must have been an OT game because everyone played 40-plus minutes. Oh, yeah, it went to overtime, so that's what happened. So, yeah, I mean, I think at that price point, I'm still probably a little bit more likely to lean on Jonas Valanciunas, but it makes sense. I wouldn't push back on it. I just feel like this might be one of the games I'm least exposed to and hope for the best. But there's a lot of implied minutes here. And DeRozan at 8,200 on FanDuel is probably the guy that I get to the most. I got about a 50 fantasy point projection on that. And then even Levine has a case here, but that DeRozan price point is very intriguing to me. Yeah, I get caught up on chat here. Brody says Matt Ryan leads the league in yards since 2016. Okay, but when you do that, it's different, right? You start grabbing obscure years, like, I don't know.
Former MVP.
I'm not hating on, I don't know. I just don't think it was like a big deal. Like they picked up an average quarterback, which is cool because if they built to
an above average quarterback with the best running back, one of the top running backs in the league, and a top 5 defense.
Running backs don't matter.
I mean, when you're Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry good, you definitely matter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How'd they work out for the Titans?
I mean, not the best in some cases. But Ryan Tannehill, a little bit of a, one or 2 more throws, could have got it done.
All right. What else we got in chat here? We're 1 week away from the Falcons Day, 328. Let's go. Young C says, Gun, do you think the Pelicans win flat out? No. Pelicans night 2 back-to-back. Hornets are really good offense, and they're at home. And they're 6-point favorites, so no. Yankees stealing signs after all the BS their fans gave the Stros. Come on,
Right?
guy.
Yankees are cheaters. Let's give it a rank. Yankees are cheaters.
I mean, everyone steals signs. That was
Okay,
never
no,
good.
keep this. No, but if they're adding cameras and stuff, no. There's regular stealing signs. Yeah, start adding cameras. No, you got to keep the same energy like the Astros did.
I don't even have the energy to pretend like baseball has anything sacred anymore, right? We just spent 3 months sweating a lockout where it was just garbage. We've watched them give amnesty to the Astros. There's steroids. There's sticky stuff. Who cares anymore at this point?
Okay,
I just don't. Let them play. F it.
As the Yankees got caught, now he wants to change his tune. God ain't serious. God ain't serious.
You know, whatever. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Oh, see how they switch up?
That's what I've always said. I mean, who cares? You know,
the Astros.
I wanted Correa. You know what I mean? Like,
God was the number one crash of Astros. They didn't deserve it. They stole a ring from the Yankees. Da, 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 da. Oh man, Aaron Judge was the loudest one. If I ever learned Aaron Judge was part of this cheating, oh man, he's gonna hear it too.
it's from like the 2015 or 2016 team or something like that. Judge, if he was up for a couple days. It would be like day run. But
God.
Gun hating on Indy right now. I'm not hating on Indy. I'm just saying, like, every year when an average team gets eliminated from the playoffs, everyone's like, oh, they just didn't have that quarterback to take them to the next level. That's 2022 Matt Ryan to me. Like, okay. It didn't work out for Tennessee because Henry got hurt. Yeah, but Henry came back. And
he was 100%.
But Henry's backup was doing well. Is what I'm saying. Is running backs don't actually matter.
Yeah.
They'll have like 1 or 2 like seasons. And Henry's obviously like not a human being. He's a robot sent here from the.
Tennessee defense also is not as elite as the Colts. Colts lead defense is actually super elite. We're talking top 3, top 5.
That's fair. What up, Dave? Chat, let's do a drop. Hey, you guys aren't PrizePicks. If not, you should be. PrizePicks, incredible partner and sponsor of the channel, of the show. I imagine most of you guys are running on PrizePicks. This is really popular, but if you're not, if you sign up using code GUNDACKER, it's a cool way to support the stream while also getting some more action and diversifying your daily spend. We've been pumping out content on this channel, serving the prop market and serving the PrizePicks market. Josh's morning show picking up some steam, man. I was reading new comments today. Somebody was like, Josh should have his own YouTube channel. I was like, hey, wait a minute. You're trying to steal my guy, man. But yeah, get on PrizePicks.com, download on your Apple phone or your iPhone, unless you're in Canada, like Raj's weird self, and you can't download the app.
No, we can't. No PrizePicks. Let me actually check the App Store. Maybe it just came up.
Oh my God, I forgot the camera's not set up, and I'm just over here floating in space. Anyway. But yeah, sign up using code GUNDACKER. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. I don't know what's happening anymore. Bam. What a show.
Gun's flustered. You got Yankees cheating. You can't admit that Matt Ryan's a good pickup. You realizing I'm a cooler dude.
You don't understand. So, like,
Sure.
let me ask you this: if the Colts picked up Kirk Cousins, would you feel any stronger or less stronger than them picking up Matt Ryan? Is what I'm saying. He's perfectly average. It's not a bad pickup, but it's like whatever.
That's like Kirk Cousins is not going to win your Super Bowl, but he won't lose it for you. So if you have an elite running back, top 2 running back with the top 3-5 defense, why are you
so stuck on running back? It's not okay.
No, like I said, Jonathan Taylor he's that dude.
Sure,
he's that dude.
Why? I mean, what? I don't know.
I don't tell you 1 year sample size, but you watch him run, like he's that dude.
I mean, I get it, but like the shelf life of an elite running back is very
short.
Yeah,
100%.
And then you're extremely top heavy. If your quarterback can't pick up a possession because your running back has a flat tire,
That's what
I like it's hyped out of proportion. Like it's not that big of a pickup. It's really not.
I think it's big for that team. It could be big for that team.
Maybe. I just feel like it's some average. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's amazing. I just think it's fine.
It's like Derek Carr. You make the right throws, consistent. Like he's not Aaron Rodgers at his prime. He's not Peyton Manning, but you give him a top running back, top defense. He makes the right throws. He can win your Super Bowl.
Raul Neto could win you a game against the Rockets tonight because he is projected to start at point guard for the Washington Wizards. Also starting today, projection wise, is Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Corey Kispert, Kyle Kuzma, and Kristaps Porzingis up against Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Eric Gordon, Jayshawn Tate, Christian Wood. 234 is our total, 5-point spread. Favor the visiting Washington Wizards. The news here is the status of Kyle Kuzma and the questionable tag that he is carrying, and this was a tag that actually caused him to miss that Lakers game. So it's at least serious enough to where he couldn't suit up against LeBron James, and now you wonder, could they write this game off? He's dealing with right knee tendonitis, so if he can't play, certainly would increase our expectations and usage for guys like Porzingis. Although with Porzingis, we're still not seeing him play over 30 minutes, but it was a good sign that he played a back-to-back, and the coach did say he's not on a strict minutes limit, so it could just be a giant coincidence, but I also feel like they are being cautious. And if Kyle Kuzma can't play, Corey Kispert might pick up a couple extra shots here. And then KCP, man, I got an infatuation with KCP almost no matter what, but especially if Kuzma's down. Rockets, of course, one of the fastest-paced teams in basketball. Parlaying that with one of the worst defensive efficiencies in basketball and allowing a lot of peripheral stats. And this is something that could bode well for not just KCP, but Kristaps Porzingis as well. The Rockets lead the league in steals allowed per game, and they're also up there in points in the paint and blocks per game. So lots of defensive peripherals to be picked up. If we look at blocks per game allowed, the Houston Rockets are third in the league behind OKC and Memphis. And steals per game allowed, the Houston Rockets are first in the league at 9.6, right above the Cleveland Cavaliers. And by the way, points in the paint allowed, 52. So it's a big spot for the Wizards here. So I kind of hoping Kuzma didn't play, and I would be a little bit more aggressive with my Wizards ownership. But even if Kuzma did play, this is just a process matchup. Rockets have been a team to target all year. The Rockets, in terms of clickable names here, Rockets, by the way, night two of back-to-back. They played yesterday afternoon against the John Morant-less Memphis Grizzlies. Didn't go well because Grizzlies' defense without John Morant is on a different planet. But KPJ, Jalen Green, Christian Wood all makes sense. I'd be a little bit more enamored with KPJ and Jalen Green. I would definitely like him a little bit more if Eric Gordon was out. But Jalen Green's somebody I can get behind here. But I don't know that I get to like an aggressive ownership on anyone on the Rockets. I just kind of like throw them all in the pool. Anyone that's getting an okay projection or a range of outcome that I can get behind, that would be Wood, Jalen Green, KPJ. But the Wizards side is certainly something that I might get incredibly invested in if we got Kuzma out. Raj, you bracing for anything specific in this spot? You're going to load up on this game regardless? If Kuzma did play, 7K on Fanduel, 8K on DK, has 40-plus fantasy point potential. That's what the projection is. Would you get behind playing him?
You know, at 8K, you're okay with 40, but you really want kind of 50s in tournaments. With Porzingis, I don't think he's had a 50-point game since Porzingis got there, so that's a little worrisome for me. You know, in that sense, he's definitely kind of splitting the usage with him. But I think he's still, you know, if you want to take a risk against Houston, you know, going to give up a few extra peripherals, a couple extra steals and blocks. I don't hate it. Porzingis, you know, I think 7,700, the 25 minutes limit, it makes it tough.
It's not a limit though. It's literally not a limit.
Not limit. He's not playing.
And he's played over 25. You're just making stuff up now, Mr. Cool Guy.
26, 29, 23, 25. He's playing about 25 minutes a game. He's not touching 30, 35.
But you're not putting. God dang it, Raj. Watch the product. The 23 is a lopsided game with Denver, right? Yeah. Couple blowouts here. I'm not saying he's out here playing or live to play 35 minutes tonight, but there is some nuances behind some of these low-minute games, whether it be foul trouble or what have you. They said that there's not a hard limit for him, and like I said, I'm very much encouraged that he did play this back-to-back here, and he was holding 5 fouls in both of those games. So I'm just, if he's not on a hard limit, one of these games he pops off for 32, 33 minutes. Like, I don't think it's impossible.
No, you're making sense. So Lakers and Knicks game, the 5 fouls definitely do stand out. If you can stay out of foul trouble, which, you know, I expect him to do against the Houston Rockets, you know, only, you know, 2-3 fouls. If he plays 32 minutes, let's say, don't mind him at that price, 700. So he'll definitely be in play. The Houston side, I think, is interesting. You got Christian Wood at 8,200. I think he's a guy. We saw the upside of Indiana, just kind of went full fake with 70 fantasy points. Don't expect 70, but 30 points and 10 plus rebounds, I think, is definitely a realistic expectation. 8,200 for Christian Wood, so I don't hate that. And I mean, I'm probably not getting to any Jalen Green or Kevin Porter, just Christian Wood for me.
I'm kind of the opposite. I think I could get to KPJ, Jalen Green, and feel a little less than enthusiastic on Christian Wood's side. But ultimately, I don't think anyone here is going to be a core play with Dennis Schroeder in the mix. I could just see enough where everyone's just getting 25 to 30 minutes, and Silas just has it that spread out. But I could see a little bit of life to KPJ and Jalen Green. But, I mean, I wouldn't talk anyone off of Christian Wood ledge here. But Jae'Sean Tate, Şengün, the front court's been kind of diluted, and that's a team that's just kind of like playing, getting games in and ready to end the season. So something to keep an eye on. Getting caught up on chat. Keith says Rui Hachimura if Kuzma's out. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. 3,900 on DK, I would get behind that. Yeah, there's not much I wouldn't like on the Wizards side if we got Kuzma out. Gun open the can. I fully did not expect the Matt Ryan is average take to be so controversial today, but it is. Maybe it's because I'm salty, because you know how many times I played Matt Ryan in DFS, and he's he's like the king of never getting 30 fantasy points ever.
Stack to Julio, pulls a hamstring in the second.
Well, it's just maybe it's in my head. Let's see, Matt Ryan DKP by game log last 40 games, and it's just like he never gets 30. There's like one or two 30s in there. But it's always just like 13, 14. So maybe my DFS dollars have me thinking lowly of him, but I don't know. I just.
Yes, I mean, last couple of years he's been playing with nobody in Atlanta.
I get it, but he's also old. Like, he's old. Like,
I mean, 36. Yeah, no, he's definitely up there in age. But quarterbacks playing to 40 these days.
Celtics at the Thunder. Next game on the docket. Projects 35 for the Celtics. Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford. Daniel Tice, maybe could be Grant Williams. Up against SGA, maybe. Trey Mann, Aaron Wiggins, Darius Baisley, Isaiah Roby. Maybe 216.5 total, 15-point spread in favor of the visiting Boston Celtics. Celtics rolled out Marcus Smart and Robert Williams, two anchors. To what is
fantasy team. I got 4 and Robert
playoffs or something?
Yeah, playoffs? Yeah, right? Semifinals, and these two get ruled out.
So, I mean, Smart and Robert Williams definitely, the high-low of what is the best defense in basketball. Nonetheless, it's the worst offense in basketball in the Oklahoma City Thunder, so not expecting much of a neutral impact of those guys being absent. However, it does give us an opportunity to play Derek White with a little bit more confidence. Peyton Pritchard looks pretty solid. And Grant Williams at under 4K on both Fanduel and DraftKings definitely looks like a super solid value play. Thunder, night two of back-to-back for them. And then just generally without Marcus Smart and Robert Williams might replace 60-plus minutes of high rebound, double-digit rebounds to compensate for. And Marcus Smart, a good little defender, a couple assists here. So I guess it's fair to maybe try and quantify the game scenario here today, but no matter what, it's the Thunder, so I'm not scared of the matchup. But I would say I guess what I don't want to happen is me missing out on like a Jaylen Brown explosion game or something like that. Same with Jason Tatum, but all day long I'm going to be wrestling with the spread and how this game stays close. I think it goes without saying SGA status would be the biggest catalyst in giving them hope. But let's put Tatum and Jaylen Brown on the court this season, and let's take off Marcus Smart. I actually put Tatum off the court because I can't type and talk at the same time. Let's put Smart and Robert Williams off the court and put Tatum and Jaylen Brown on the court. See what this might do. We might get some Dennis Schroeder minutes in here, but I think all of the guys that are under 5K are going to definitely be aggressive clicks for my player pool. Guys like Derek White, some Grant Williams, stuff like that. And you can make a case for Al Horford, though he's certainly one of the elder statesmen of the team that I would expect to, hits the bench before others if the game got lopsided. A little bit of revenge, sure. Jaylen Brown this season in the split, 25% usage rate. Jason Tatum, 28% usage rate. And no one really spikes in terms of assists. And Schroeder, as expected, rears his ugly head. So let's take him out of the mix. But I guess Derek White, core value play for you?
Derek White is a core value guy. It's just not a comfortable click. I do kind of just a $4,700 value guy. I just don't think the usage with Tatum and Brown will be there for him to be a comfortable click. Definitely viable with no Marcus Smart, but I think I'd rather just get to some more Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and even Al Horford. Getting some of those Robert Williams minutes. Derek White would be the fourth guy for me. I think Tatum and Brown, like Tatum at 9.9 and Jaylen Brown at 7.8, I think is a great click. I think you're definitely getting a discount, especially with no Marcus Smart against OKC. And if SGA plays, I think that's a big bump to OKC and possibly just keeping this game close. He's a guy that can keep it close for them. So I think it'll really come down to if SGA plays or not, because Marcus Smart and Robert Williams are their two best defenders. You can say they're. I want to say they're the biggest captains.
Yes, but like the team is elite, so I've never thought about tiering them because Tatum's good, Horford's way better than people think he is.
100%. Derek White's elite.
Yeah, Derek White. So that is what I'm getting at. So Derek White from Marcus Smart. I don't think that's a down. I think it's a lateral at worst and an improvement at best. Derek White's one of the better on-ball defenders, guard defenders in the league. So I don't think that's it's an empty spot. Yes, Robert Williams. I'm more focused on Robert Williams' absence for like rebounds and blocks. But I don't really see the Celtics being that much worse on defense. And even if I did, it's the worst offense in basketball with and without SGA, mind you. But right now the line is just 14.5. So it's not like it's moved dramatically, and SGA's missed some games. The Thunder probably benefit more from losing these games down the stretch than anything because they have 75 picks in the upcoming 5 drafts. So I don't know. I guess I'm just expecting the Celtics to kind of have a stranglehold on this game no matter what. But with that said, the price points are really, really low for Derek White, even Al Horford, Daniel Tice, Grant Williams, Peyton Pritchard. So all these potential value guys will make the cut here. That near 10K Tatum price point certainly seems like a down payment on like a James Harden if you thought Harden's usage was unfadable. But Jaylen Brown could spike here for 40 plus, and he's kind of cheap. So I'm gonna responsibly get Celtics in the lineup, but the likeliest outcome here is that this game is over pretty quickly, and Nick Stauskas drops 30 in the fourth quarter.
No, I hear you. I think if SGA plays, he's just matchup proof. He can get you 30 real life points against anybody. So I think he can definitely. If he plays, I'll be more inclined to get more Celtics.
Yeah, I'd be more inclined to get more thumbs up if the coolest people out there. I'll say this: no matter what, like me and Raj, we could be cool feuding, but there's no cooler chat in the world than this chat right here. Especially the ones that are hitting the thumbs up right now. So we're at 51 likes. Come on, we got to get to 100 today. 100 likes. And then while you guys are down there clicking, hey, why don't you click the link to the free Gundacker Gaming Discord. It's in the description below. Lots of you guys joined that Discord in the last day or so. I think we're almost at like 200 members since the PrizePicks stream. Karma King 81, AOD, and the Kid X has jumped in there. Shout out to you guys. Be sure to be active in the PrizePicks channel, the NBA channel. And then, hey, in a week or so, MLB The Show 22, man. I'm pretty big in that. And I'll probably do one stream a week on this channel, game night, to have some fun with you guys. And if you guys want to be partaking in that, man, I'd be looking forward to some more community involvement. So go check that out. Hit that like button. And let's move on to the next game here. The next game is the last game. So I guess I should also point out that following this stream, I'll be in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP Discord. And then I also should point out that as of this morning, the MLB season pass price has been released. It's $300 essentially, and it's not just for MLB. It just says MLB to let you know that you would get the whole MLB season, which I think is till October 5th. And then you get access to all things RunDFS.com VIP. So the rest of basketball, the beginning of football, we got NASCAR coverage in there. We got all this prop stuff. So it's really just a VIP pass, but it's labeled as MLB season, just so you know. You get all of the baseball stuff. So if you guys are looking to hang around for the baseball season, those dog days of summer, good little bulk discount there. Then, of course, it comes with a $100 credit towards Fantasy Cruncher. So rebated, could be like $200, man. I think it's a pretty good value. You guys know the power of the bomb detector. Go to RunDFS.com. Get yourself a membership. Every day before lock, I'm in the premium RunDFS.com Discord voice chat. You guys are welcome to join me there right here. And a lot of us are there, and I'll probably score rods once or twice. Usually we got to get the LeBron-Jordan debate out the way first, and then we're into researching and all that good stuff. Whatever. T-Wolves at the Mavericks main event tonight. So like I said, this whole slate tips off within an hour and a half. We got the 7 p.m. first game, the 8:30 last game. Project starting five for the T-Wolves: Patrick Beverley, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Jared Vanderbilt, and Karl Anthony Towns, the Big Cat, Ernie Ladd, taking on Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson, Reggie Bullock, Dorian Finney-Smith, Dwight Powell. We got 230 total, 2.5 point spread. Favor the Dallas Mavericks. Karl Anthony Towns does have a questionable tag on him. I believe it's for a bruise on his arm. So whether or not he plays, we'll see. But it seems like a play-throughable injury. And once I click on that, right forearm contusion. So we'll see if he can go. If he can go, it definitely feels like one of those fire and ice spots where we can key in on the Mavericks to benefit from a dramatic boost in everything. First of all, if we look at that team pace chart, the Dallas Mavericks have the slowest pace rating in all of basketball, and the Minnesota Timberwolves have the fastest. It's literally unstoppable force, immovable object, going at it. So we get more implied possessions for Luka Doncic to go out there, drop 60, 70 plus fantasy points. I think early on, my projections had him leading the entire slate in fantasy points. So I don't see that changing here. So, I like Luka Doncic quite a bit. Looks like Dinwiddie's back. Reggie Bullock should be ready to go. So Dinwiddie probably coming off the bench again, so we might be able to feel a little bit better about Jalen Brunson. Big price gap on Brunson from Fanduel to DK. $7K on DK, but just $5,400 on Fanduel. So 30 fantasy points means a little bit more on one side than it does on the other. And then on the T-Wolves side, Cat, Edwards, D-Russ, usually three guys that I stagger in terms of my player group correlations. I probably always end up with most Cat, but all these guys are live for me. And I do want to point out one thing, and since I talked about our sponsor PrizePicks, we'll talk about Luka Doncic. This is something that me and Josh have been kind of flirting with the last couple days, and we talked about it on the PrizePicks prop show. Josh covered it in his morning first look show. You guys should be looking out for that every morning. Josh has been posting a video where he'll talk about what we might be looking for on the PrizePicks board today as stuff starts opening up. But let's talk about free throw attempts for Luka Doncic, right? 5.5 free throws made is the prop for Luka on PrizePicks right now. And would you believe it if I told you that the Minnesota Timberwolves actually foul at amongst the highest clip in basketball? If I go to free throws allowed by team NBA this season, the Vanderbilts and Karl Anthony Towns, those type of guys, man, they foul at a ridiculous clip. So this is a really good spot for Luka to maybe draw more fouls. Minnesota is allowing 25.5 free throw attempts per game. That's the most in the league. That's right above the Detroit Pistons, the Portland Trailblazers, the Lakers, guys like that. So literally no team is sending guys to the line more than the T-Wolves. And if you're going to give Luka Doncic an elevated amount of possessions by increasing the pace like we are, that's a really intriguing spot for Luka to cash in on that 5.5 free throw prop. We said that under 6 would be what we're looking for, I'm I'm willing to maybe kind of act on that here and take some shots on that free throw prop. Obviously, everything for Luka is in play today. Could be one of those 60, 70 fantasy point games, but I did want to mention that free throw stuff. Maybe if you're in a sports book, that will give you some plus money on the over. Could be something that stands out. Raj, is Luka Doncic going to score more fantasy points than anyone else on this slate? And does he outscore the next guy by 8 or more fantasy points?
Man, I think I'm still on the Durant train when it comes to the highest score on the slate. I'm probably sticking with Durant here, but I think Luka's right up there with him and LeBron. I think it's a close battle for number 2. I don't think I'm as high as him and as you, where I think you have him as like the clear cut number 1. I think he has the upside for that game. I mean, Minnesota's been, when fully healthy, they've been kind of great offensively and defensively.
Mm-hmm.
But the Mavs have kind of been this is 2 good teams going at it. 2 good teams playing well going at it. When 2 good teams play, I do expect kind of a higher scoring game. I do think the better offense just kind of wins out. So I would be shocked if this game, hits, a 230 total as well.
But I mean, nothing you're saying justifies not being high on Luka, though.
But Luka, I just also think like Jalen Brunson is going to get you some points. Dinwiddie is going to get you some points. I think he just has more guys who are with the ability to score versus Kevin Durant, where it's him. Seth Curry will help, but that's it. I just think Luka has more options on this team.
But Luka doesn't just need points. He'll be attached to those guys with assists, and of course, you can get rebounds. If you think, I don't know, it just seems like if you think this game, first of all, is competitive, then Luka's live for 60-plus fantasy points, and it's the fastest-paced team in the league. I mean, Luka, you add 5-6 possessions to an average Luka game, he's already averaging almost 57 fantasy points per game. It just seems like the most obvious Luka spot that ever did obvious.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. But the 12K
you hear me
price
talking, but are you listening?
But again, the 12K price tag is $1,300 more than Durant.
But throw all that out the window, right? Is he going to score the most points on this slate?
Again,
if the answer is yes, then you got a lot of value tonight to go get those raw points.
Yeah, I think Durant's highest on the slate. So I'm rolling with Durant. I'll have some Luka. I'm not gonna fade him.
Okay, I mean that's all I'm trying to get from you. But don't try to backdoor that I'll have some Luka. Luka just seems like a pretty obvious play pre and post flop. In games that are not blowouts, like 60 fantasy points seems like a strong starting point. I know the Philly game didn't go his way, but this Charlotte game got lopsided. He only played 30 minutes, probably left 5 to 8 to 9 minutes on the board. So that 48 quickly becomes a 60. I mean, this is just like an ultimate spot to latch on to Luka. So I don't know, man. I'm really high on the potential upside for Luka here, and it doesn't get much better as a late night hammer than Luka Doncic.
I hear you. Play Luka, but I don't think there's anybody else on Timberwolves. Russell, Edwards, they're all kind of priced right. I don't think I'm getting to any of those guys.
I would get to some Cat. If Cat, for some reason, does get rolled out, obviously it would boost interest in like Naz Reid and Jared Vanderbilt, guys like that, but also boost usage for D-Russ and Edwards. But, yeah, I'm really just kind of stuck on Luka. And then I like that Fanduel price point on Jalen Brunson. Yeah, I've been wrestling with the thought of grabbing Dwight Powell in pace-up spots, but then Marquise Chris returned, and that's annoying.
That's not working out.
Yeah, but he's a high foul guy, so maybe Cat can get him out of there. But anyway, that's our slate, chat. You guys got anything on this one? And we did not get to 100 likes. We got a nice 69, so I appreciate that. Carlos says, I'll give you my like if you say that Matt Ryan pickup is the best pickup in NFL free agency history. I think it was not quite. Dan Ross says, when Rod said he wanted some poll, he didn't mean poll like the Twitter one, deciding what to use.
Damron got jokes. So Damron gives a poll to his girl.
41 votes. 66% of people think I'm cooler than you, Rod. I think I'll take that as a dub. That's a dub. That's a dub. I'll take it.
Yeah, a bunch of weirdos supporting another weirdo is not a dub.
It's a dub.
You got your Fortnite friends. You got your Fortnite friends voting. Are they even real?
My Fortnite friend. You know what I play Fortnite with? My girlfriend. That's it. What do you mean? Don't you? Okay, relax. Relax. Oh man, I'll get caught up on chat. Chat, you guys got any questions, 1v1s before we get out of here? We got some time. maybe 10 minutes. Nidu says, how many Celtics max in a lineup? I probably want to no more than 3, obviously, but I'll probably get a whole lot of 2s. I expect a lot of Derek White to fall, a lot. And Peyton Pritchard. I do like Peyton Pritchard. So, yeah, maybe I do get some 3s more than I think I would. Hulk smash that like button. Let's go. I appreciate that. I ain't getting to Luka. You ain't getting to Luka? Really? Okay. So, I think, I mean, if you have KD and Harden 1 and 2, I don't think that, like, obviously, I don't think that's, like, an ridiculous take. But I just think, like, raw points, you start thinking about raw points once the slate starts throwing you value, right? Just thinking about sub 5K, sub 4K guy. Peyton Pritchard is one of them, especially on DK. Peyton Pritchard, Grant Williams. You might have an entire Thunder team if you care about that. Neto could be under 4K without Kuzma. I wouldn't hate that. The Sixers don't really have value guys to take advantage of. The Pelicans could have a couple of value guys, and then the Blazers, I mentioned Chris Dunn, somebody that's going to project pretty well, points per dollar. The Pistons, without a couple guys, they might have some underpriced spots to take advantage of. So I just think there's enough value that if you can attach that value with the highest scorer on the slate, and if that guy separates himself from the KDs, from the Hardens at a higher clip, then I just take the raw points from a construction standpoint. But it's very reasonable to think that KD or James Harden are going to be the highest scorer slate. I just think that Luka Doncic's reputation precedes him here in spots, on the season without Porzingis, just straight up. In games that are competitive, he's giving you 60, 70 more than he's not. And now you put him in literally the fastest paced matchup in the league. And I don't know, I just feel like it makes a whole lot of sense at the end of the night if we're looking up and Luka's got 40 at half, and now you start sweating if your 60 from KD is going to hold up. You know what I mean? So there's multiple ways to skin a cat here. So I don't want to put you guys on one guy or the other. It was just a game theory, thought process, thinking out loud, talking it over. G-Town Baller, what up, G-Town? Says, I don't like to see Matt Ryan go, but I'll still be cheering for him. Yeah, I've been there, right? Eli Manning in the twilight years, or Ben Roethlisberger. Like, you just love guys so much that you'll take some average years, and then it stings to see him suit up in a different uniform, but it is what it is. Same with Phillip Rivers. Josh says, our hero Honeywell just posted 9.5. No way they put him at 9.5. All right, that's intriguing. So shout out to Josh. If you guys are looking for a sneaky play, first half Tyler Hero. Check this out. They've actually kind of made a gimmick out of it, where Hero is Mr. Second Quarter. They put him at 9.5 points. This has been a line he's been clearing with and without Jimmy, no matter what. But with that Oladipo, it bodes pretty well. And he's been getting, if we go look at the Miami Heat and their minute rotation, and I'm not going to put the Thunder up because they didn't have Butler there. I guess Butler's missed a couple games here. But you look at this, Jimmy Butler started against the Detroit Pistons. Tyler Hero essentially comes in, and he plays the entire second quarter. He finishes the first quarter, plays the second quarter. Look at that T-Wolves game. Tyler Hero comes in at the end of the first quarter, plays the whole second quarter. He is literally Mr. Second Quarter. That's how their local TV kind of advertises them. So him to be at 9.5 first half points is kind of intriguing, all things considered. I think you can even stat me this. Tyler Hero points in the first half. Let's go last 15 games. I think he averages like 12. If points in first half, let's go by game log here. I think I typed it wrong. Last 15 games. So we're just looking for 10 or better, right? And he's cleared that in all but one of his last 10 games. And the game that he didn't clear was February 5th against Charlotte. And he just didn't get there. Every other game he's smoking this. So if you guys want to throw a prop in those PrizePicks cards, man, that first half, Tyler Hero, 9.5 real points.
James Harden rolled out.
Oh, my God. Well, that doesn't change much for... Okay, well, I mean, it changes everything. But, I mean, it doesn't change much for the Tyler Hero thing. All right, so James Harden is rolled out.
That game might be over after the first quarter.
See, I was already wondering about a blowout.
Now it's just...
Yeah. But now it's just like, do minutes equal money? So Tobias
Right?
Harris, Tyrese Maxey, Furkan Korkmaz,
so cheap.
Shake Milton. God,
I know Jimmy's expected to play, but with Embiid, I think ruled out. I mean, could they just be like Jimmy out?
All right, so Tyrese or Tyler Hero first half probably. All right, cool. So we'll take out James. All right, well, Embiid out. James Harden out. Where are we at? 345. I had a feeling last night when they looked so dead-legged that this was game 3 in 4 nights. Like, I thought they would punt this game.
If I was Miami, I would think about resting Jimmy here again if he needed it. Even Lowry.
I don't know. Well then, Hero first half points lock. Yeah, I would take it. I would get that while you can. Do you think Patrick Williams is a play from the Bulls? I did not have him on my radar.
Especially with the guys to go to.
So Rods, KD versus Luka. There's not a third. There's not a third man. Yeah, I guess LeBron. Yeah. A Tribe Called Q says, I missed the PrizePicks show. Can you go over your favorites? Man, the PrizePicks show was kind of a technical difficulty issue, but Tyler Hero first half fantasy real points would be a favorite. We were kind of privy to LeBron homecoming there. I like that. We liked Evan Mobley fantasy points. I like Jonas Valanciunas fantasy points. Those are the ones that kind of really stuck out. But I'll tell you what, me and Josh, we've been sharing some of what we land on late in the free Discord. So if you guys get in that free Discord, links in the description below. This isn't the premium one. We will have full coverage in the premium, but in the free Discord, we've been dropping some nuggets in there and kind of listing our favorite plays. Typically, we'll do it for the YouTube members, the guys that have the paid membership here, but we might be a little generous today for those of you guys that get in there and be active. Be active. Harden is out. Yeah, Harden just got rolled out, Carlos, man. Shake Milton, the best points per dollar play on the Sixers now. Just from a price standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at 3,100, it's hard to get. Yeah.
Actually could go all the way fake.
Strictly points per dollar, yes. I don't give a crap about DeAndre Jordan. Toby will probably pick up some usage, but he does draw some tough matchups here. So, like, I do think the likeliest outcome that this becomes a punt at half, and it's going to be like Gorgeous Nang, Shake Milton out there. You might get some Isaiah Joe, Paul Reed. Like, it could get really weird really quickly. So, I don't know. We'll see what this new line is at.
Or Maxey and Tobias both have 50-point fantasy games, right?
That seems like a lower percentile range of outcome.
Yeah. No, I think that happened when you're 100K. Just saying.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Anyway, that's it for that one. Shake Mills, especially your boy already winning opening day tickets on spring training DK line. Let's go. Spring training. We've been out here playing spring training DFS.
I know he played my boy Matt Chapman. Got that home run from Chapman.
Josh Donaldson also did it, so he's better. Core plays on the slate. Man, Jim, this slate just got knocked on its head, but core plays would probably be some of the value, like Derek White, maybe Peyton Pritchard. I was pretty privy to that. Waiting on this Dragic news. I do like on Fanduel, Donovan Mitchell and CJ McCollum price points, Jonas Valanciunas price points. So this slate's going to be fun. I feel like it's not over. I feel like in the next hour or two, while we're in that RunDFS.com pre-lock voice chat, it's going to get even crazier. Patrick Reed says, do you think Nane could be a good play? I think Nane's interesting. One of the things that the Heat do is they are a funnel defense, causing you to shoot more threes. They give up like a top 5, top 6 amount of points per game via the 3-ball. And one of the things Gorgeous Nang does is he chucks threes, 7, 4, 10 shots from behind the arc this last couple games. So most of his shots will be via the 3-ball. So I do think we could justify it metrically, but I think it's reasonable to suspect that there's going to be a pretty lopsided game. So, but I think those guys are there. That under was a smash. Yeah, James, if you got under that, that's a good call. I didn't hate it earlier anyway. I was already like wondering if that game would be even competitive, but yeah. Core plays are the entire 76ers. You think so, man? I don't know. I guess I I don't know. So I'm not that excited for Maxey and Tobias is what I'll say. I think
I wish we were going against another team. If it was any other team other than like the Heat,
100%.
yeah, that's just worrisome. Bam Adebayo, Jimmy, it's just tough defensively. Tucker.
James says I've been getting killed betting spring training MLB. I think I'm done. Yeah, I mean, spring training is. I mean, baseball's already variant. Spring training could be like 2 innings of starters, and then you're betting on guys that might be bagging groceries in 3 weeks. I don't know. That's tough. Stop doing that. Wait a couple weeks, 2 weeks. All right, so we're gonna regroup, recover. We'll be in the RunDFS.com voice chat here. There's 4 games tomorrow. Raj, are you going to be here tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow.
All right, so we'll have the PrizePicks stream tomorrow. Myself, Josh, and I believe he made it happen. We're going to try and make that happen. Then Raj on the DFS show. Look out for the first look video by Josh in the morning. If you guys didn't know, that's another piece of content that's been on this channel. And then I might have a prop betting video tomorrow. Don't quote me on that. We'll see. But that'll do it. I'm headed to the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. But I also peek my head into that free Discord. Link in the description below. Get in there. Rod's hot fire take to send the people on their way.
Hot fire take. Maxey goes for 50 fantasy points.
Okay. Hopefully I am live tomorrow, and this severe thunderstorm tornado stuff isn't that big. But man, I appreciate you guys. Twitter.com/Gundacker. If you want to connect with me even more, I appreciate you guys making part of my day, be part of your day. Tell somebody you love them, because I love you, man. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.